Nietzsche asks you, are you just eating and sleeping again today, lying on a comfortable sofa, merely peering into the lives of others through your smartphone? Are you avoiding challenges because you fear pain, envying the success of others while drowning in self-justification, telling yourself, I can't do it? Looking at your lethargic and pathetic self in the mirror, have you resigned yourself to this fate, merely breathing to stay alive? If so, crawl out of that comfortable hell right now. First, shatter the sweet poisoned chalice of comfort. You say you want happiness, but what you really want is merely comfort. You simply want to curl up in a warm place, hoping for a life without pain, relationships without conflict, and results without effort. Bear this in mind. Comfort is the deadliest poison that slowly suffocates your soul. The moment you settle for reality, saying, "This is enough," you are no different from livestock that has given up on being human. You blink and say, "We have invented happiness." But in reality, you are merely a rotting last man. Being satisfied with small pleasures, obsessed with minor health concerns, and finding relief in mingling with the herd. This is not life, but a servile struggle for survival. Comfort makes you weak, castrates your potential, and ultimately turns you into a nothing. What deserves contempt is not the one who suffers, but your lazy attitude of being a well-fed pig satisfied with reality, aspiring to nothing more. Second, make suffering your teacher and your only savior. Why do you try to avoid pain? Why do you whine as if the world is collapsing when a trial comes? What leads you to ruin is not suffering itself, but your cowardly attitude of trying to avoid it. You must know this. All human greatness grows only on the soil of suffering. You are both the sculptor and the marble to be sculpted. To shape yourself into a beautiful form, you must endure the pain of holding the hammer and striking your own flesh. If the marble runs away screaming because the hammer hurts, it will remain a rolling stone forever. Suffering is not a reaper coming to kill you, but wings that break your shell and let you soar higher. Do not pray for a life without pain. Rather, fear that the pain you can handle is too little. The pain that does not kill you only makes you stronger. When a trial comes, do not run away. Face it head on. And shout this, "Was that life? Well then, once more." Only those who affirm and love suffering can command their own destiny. Third, mercilessly kill the you of yesterday and constantly overcome yourself. Man is a rope tied between beast and Übermensch. A rope over an abyss. It is dangerous to cross, dangerous to look back, and even more dangerous to stand still. Yet you are standing still in the middle of that rope, trembling with fear, or trying to return to the place of the beast. There is no status quo. You either advance or you fall. Do not define your limits by saying, "I am just this kind of person." That is the excuse of a loser. You must despise, deny, and destroy yourself every single day. Discard the satisfaction you felt today, the little knowledge you gained today, and the reputation you enjoyed today like worn-out shoes. Just as a snake that cannot shed its skin dies, a human being who does not constantly cast off their old shell sees their spirit rot. A life without self-overcoming is a dead life. Trample upon your instincts, your weakness, and your fear. Conquering yourself is the greatest and most difficult victory in this world. If you lack the will to surpass yourself, that will to ascend, you will live your whole life as a slave to your environment, a slave to your emotions, and a slave to others, before vanishing without a trace. Finally, reject the morality of the herd and legislate your own values. How long will you live walking on eggshells around others? How long will you force yourself into the standard of a good life defined by the world, blindly following the morals and values instilled by society, parents, and schools? Is the life of a slave. The thought, "I do it because others do it," sickens your soul. You must become the master of your own life. Create the standards of good and evil, right and wrong, by yourself. Do not fear solitude. One who climbs to high places is inevitably solitary. The eagle flies alone, but sheep flock together. The warmth of the herd only makes you mediocre, but the cold wind of solitude makes you strong. Do not crave the recognition of others. Become a person of pride who can acknowledge yourself. Create your life like a work of art. Affirm your desires and interpret the world according to your will. The master of the world is not someone else. The one who legislates their own value and lives by it without wavering. That person is the master. This cruel and scorching vitriol that has whipped your lazy soul is not my word. It is the cry of Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher of the hammer, who called himself dynamite and sought to shatter the sick spirit of 19th century Europe. Nietzsche ordered us to become the Übermensch, overman. Here, the Übermensch is not a superhero. It means a human who constantly overcomes themselves, affirms and loves the pain of reality, amor fati, and creates meaning independently within a seemingly meaningless life. He terribly despised modern people falling into the state of the last man, addicted to small, shabby happiness and seeking only comfort. What do you look like right now? Are you the last man hiding from pain, or the Übermensch dancing upon it? Is there still a star burning in your chest? One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. What is your chaos giving birth to today?